Call the meeting to order. I have an invocation by Commissioner Singleton, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Eisen.
Father God, we come now, Father. Thank you for this day, Father God. Father, we lift up this meeting before you right now, Father God. Actually, just touch and bless, Father God. Give us the right heart, the right mind, Father God, to do what you would be pleased in, Father, for the city, Father God. Father, these and other blessings we actually done in Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Clark Griffin. Present. Commissioner Henderson.
Present.
Commissioner Henry.
Present.
Commissioner Isom.
Present.
Commissioner Kennard.
Present.
Commissioner Singleton.
Present.
Commissioner Warren. Mayor Pro Tem Seeds.
Present.
Mayor Mohammed. You have a quorum.
All right, being that, I don't see County Commissioner, I'm sorry, approval of accounts payable listing. Oh, I'm sorry. Approval of regular minutes from August 5th, 2024. Been motioned by Commissioner Henderson, supported by Commissioner Singleton. We call the roll, please.
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Isom.
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard.
Present. Oh, yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seeds.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Approval of accounts payable listing. We have a motion. Been motioned by Commissioner Henderson, supported by Commissioner Isom. Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
No.
Commissioner Isom.
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard.
Yes. Sounds. Oh, I can't see what they're all about, so no. I haven't seen it.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Seeds.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Being that, County Commissioner Yarborough's not here, we're gonna move to citizen comment. You got 3 minutes, please sign with the clerk.
Art Attila.
Is it, I've never done this, do I stand here and say what I have to say? Okay, thank you. My name's Art Attila. I'm not a resident of the city, but I appreciate everyone letting me come here and talk tonight. And I'm here, it's a matter of, I'm gonna say fairness, okay? I'm not here to criticize the city or anybody working with the city or on the commission or in leadership, but I saw something and I wanted to say something. And a friend of mine called me and said, hey, I heard something on the radio about the Gay Pride Fest that just went on. And then he sent me the text from the Town Crier Wire, which was basically comments from the minutes that you just approved on page 2. And as I looked at, as I read it, I said to myself, you know what? I was here. I don't think that's what happened. That's not what I saw. So I'm speaking like a witness. I'm saying, well, that's not what I saw. Now, we have different opinions about what we see. So, and I just thought I need to say something, because if I don't say something, probably nobody will. So I'm going to take a moment and just recite in the paragraph here, I've got mine marked up, in the minutes that you have, there was recitation by Mary Jo Schnell. It wasn't a recitation, this is her comments. And I realized she's doing her job, but she said, among other things, she said that there was on the June 22nd at the meeting, there were 6 individuals who set about intimidating and harassing the community in the center of the park And then she went on to talk about they called for the city officials and the law enforcement to reinstate safety of the residents. And they were concerned about inappropriate behavior. And they talked about a return to safety. I'm going to keywords just to cut to the chase so we can see where we're going with this. Call the people protesters, and then reference that the people there, the families, the allies, and the children had to suffer through the insults and the harassments of the protesters. Now, one of the 6 individuals was a member of my family. So frankly, I wanted to come down and see what they were doing, what he was doing, and what this was about. I'd never seen anything like this. So I come down to the festival, I spend some time, go around, look at the booths. These gentlemen, 6 individuals did in fact show up, and they came with they had sandwich signs, but they stand by them. Their number one purpose was they are abolitionists in the new sense, which is they wish to abolish abortion. They also had a sign that spoke against gay pride. And they did this because that's what they believe. That's what they think is correct. Now, whether you agree with them or not, which side you're on, it doesn't matter. They have as much right as anybody to be here, but they were not. I want to just kind of go through what the reason I'm here is to say, in fairness, they were not intimidating or harassing anybody. That's not what I saw. I'm just saying what I saw. And as for I'm intimidated to come here today. Is that a sign for me or something? Am I out of time? Do I have any time? Anyway, I'm intimidated to be here. So if they felt intimidated, I'm sorry. They did not speak rudely. They did not curse. They did not use a megaphone. No one was unsafe at any point. The safety was always there. There was no inappropriate behavior that I witnessed. I'm talking about what I saw. I didn't see that. I wasn't there all 5 hours. I don't know how long the guys were there, maybe 3. And they did not insult or harass anyone. They call them protesters. I could call them influencers. These were people who have an opinion. Their opinion is not popular right now. The same thing that could have been said about everybody at the Pride Festival 30 years ago. I'm old, so I can say that. I remember these times. That's it. I just wanted to put on record, hopefully this will go in a minute, so that there's at least some other comment here, that this is what one person said, this is what another person said. Thank you for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Albert Mays.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Albert Mays. I currently reside in St. Joe Township. The reason that I'm here is because I'm a judicial candidate. I'm running for 5th District Court Judge here in Berrien County. A little background about myself. I've been practicing law for 25 years as a litigator. During my time in private practice, I've certainly felt the need to give back to the community in some other way. And so from 2003 to 2016, before Berrien County implemented the Public Defender Office, I was able to obtain a contract with Berrien County to provide indigent defense to those that were less fortunate, from Berrien Springs all the way south to the county line. During those 13 years, I handled thousands of criminal cases, from simple misdemeanors to the most egregious felonies you could think of. It was rewarding work because not only did it give me connection with the community, it also gave me valuable experience. While also building my private practice, I also focused on family law issues. I've handled hundreds of divorces, parenting time issues, paternity complaints, child support, guardianships, a wide variety of legal issues throughout the community. Currently now, even though I'm not doing the public defender work anymore, I am back doing some public work, as I am the deputy city attorney for the city of Niles, where now I'm wearing a different hat, whereby I prosecute their ordinance violations. So I have a wide spectrum of legal experience. I think that's valuable for a judge. You know, my position is nonpartisan. So obviously I can't tell you what side of the political aisle I'm on. And it shouldn't matter, because political biases, or any biases for that matter, have any place in our courtrooms. You expect from a judge someone that's going to have common sense, that knows the law, and that's certainly going to treat people equally, fairly, and with integrity. There's always going to be a winner and a loser, unfortunately. That's the nature of the beast when you end up in court. But what you want to make sure, whatever side you're on, that you leave there feeling that someone heard your voice, treated you with respect, and applied the law fairly. So hopefully I've given you some food for thought. Obviously, ask people in the community, people that work in the courthouse, judges, police officers, defense attorneys, whoever you may know, and ask them who Albert Mays is and whether or not he possesses those qualities that merit him obtaining that judgeship. So I thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll have your support in November. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Dr. Joseph Bullocks.
All right, good evening, Commissioner, City Manager. So I'm coming to you with a complaint that I'm having with the inspection department and actually public safety and the fire department. As you all know me very well, and y'all know the type of guy I am, but I'm having some problems with the communication part of trying to get things together with our building at 456 South Fair. It seemed like we jumped out of one hurdle and then back into another hurdle with people with the city trying to stop us from turning that building into a restaurant. And then, we're going to have it, we have a liquor license at the building as well. But my concern is that you all said that y'all didn't want any liquor stores there, which is good, but y'all didn't say that y'all didn't want businesses, restaurants and stuff with liquor license. And so when the Liquor Commission contacted me, they said they received a letter from the city of Benton Harbor, including Department of Public Safety and the fire marshal, wrote a letter on your all behalf saying that y'all didn't want liquor license, period. And so I would like for y'all to investigate that, and hopefully we can get that rectified as soon as possible.
Thank you.
No more comments.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm sorry I'm late, but I came to speak to you all if I could.
You have the floor.
But
You have the floor.
thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Seats, to commissioners, and to the community. My name is Mamie L. Yarbrough. I live at 228 Territorial Road, Unit 2, Benton Harbor, Michigan. And excuse me for being late. I wanted to talk to you. I am Berrien County Commissioner, and this is my district, along with precincts 2 and 4 of Benton Charter Township. And I want to let you know from our treasurer, and whenever you want to look her up, you go into berriencounty.org and you look under treasurer. And right now the foreclosure properties are on the computer. We're doing everything now. We've done it last 2 or 3 times on the computer through a company. And you can bid on properties right now, but the actual live open bidding is on September 3rd. And so I want to just tell you what she wrote me, that, is this okay? Can you hear me? There are 121 properties available. There are houses, vacant lots, and commercial properties. And then there are 7 modern plastic parcels, and they're selling them as one property, but there's 7 bundles. And you know that it's right there on the Pawpaw River. And then there's a demolition order that will be in place on the modern plastic parcels, because Berrien County applied for some money to remove some properties that have just been sitting for years, and they did not send that to us. I think it was through MISTA, but they did not send that, and we don't know what to do other than to put it on the foreclosure property, because it's been in court for many years between New Products and Modern Plastic, and it now belongs to Berrien County. To be in this sale, you must register with a $1,000 credit card hold. Bidding is now open, and live bidding is on September 3rd only. Purchases must be paid for within 5 days. And if you have any questions, please email or call Berrien County Treasurer Shelley White. And then I have some information. We had an event here. It was the United Church Women, and I wanted some information about Harbor Shores, because they were staying at the hotel. And I wanted them to know something about all that property around them and all the new houses. And so I talked to Dan Fetty, our Director of Community Development and Enterprise, all those things. It says there were 500, since 2005, there were 580 acres of former industrial property has been cleaned up and put back into productive use. $19,900,000 in public-private environment cleanup and infrastructure funds were expended. There's been a total of approximately $200 million in new private investment in the project area. This results in $60 million in new taxable value for the participating communities. 155 new housing units have been created. When the Brownfield plan expires, these entities will receive the following new annual tax revenue. And I want to tell you, when people talk about things happening in 20 years, 25 years, from 2005 to 2024, it's almost there. Or if it hasn't passed it, but time goes fast, and that's when, and maybe you all can clear for me that it'll revert back, and those people will be living in St. Joe, whereas before they've been living in Benton Harbor. And just like that, it'll be changed. But the revenue to Benton Harbor will be $675,000. That's annual. St. Joseph City will be $530,000. Benton Charter Township will receive $110,000. Berrien County will receive $365,000. Lake Michigan College will receive $140,000. And RESA, the Regional Educational Services Agency, will receive $145,000. Additionally, Benton Harbor Schools is already receiving $700,000 a year in new tax revenue. So there's a lot of money here. And having lived here all my life, I don't remember the time when this much money has come to our city. And I pray that we'll do well and continue with the fixing things up. I want to thank you all and thank the citizens for voting and passing the millages that we had. We had 3 millages. And the one was for the senior centers. And I just want to tell you, we have 7 senior centers. And the amount that it is estimated that the amount to be generated from the total millage rate in the first year of the levy, 2025, this is a renewal. It's been going on since 1990 something. The amount, let me start again, is estimated to be generated is for the year levy of 2025 would be approximately $3,086,200. And I took and divided that because I wanted to know how much each center gets because we divided evenly. And the amount, if my figures are correct, is $440,885 per year per center. So more centers get even more than that because people bequeath when they die. They give donations, just all kinds of things happens. They have sales, they have trips. I'm sure they make money on them. They go to the theater or whatever. So that is what they received. Last year was about 300 and something thousand. Many times people come to the county and they say, you ought to give so-and-so, naming a center, more money because they do more things. And I talked to our manager, Thelma Branch, and she said, the centers do what the people want them to do. She said, we've tried to have trips or whatever, nobody signs up. And so the things that we do are what our residents want. Not to mention that of the 7 centers, you can go to any one of them. You can't vote, you can't be on the board. The people on each board are from that area. Benton Harbor, Benton Charter Township is together. I just wanted to name them for you. The senior centers are Benton Harbor, Benton Township Senior Services, Buchanan Area Senior Center, Central County Senior Center, Greater Niles Senior Center, North Berrien Senior Center, River Valley Senior Center, in St. Joseph Lincoln Senior Center. And you, as a senior, can go to any of those 7 and partake of whatever they're doing, the tap dancing or Tai Chi or whatever is going on. And they have wonderful programs. I want to say to you, the other renewal was for 911, and we all know what that is. And remember when every police department had a different phone line, had rotary dial, push button. Now all of this communities are on the same line and on the same tower, and they can talk together and do their job. And so it's been a blessing, this 911 millage that we have. And then the last one was law enforcement and public safety, and helps them to be able to make things more safe in all our communities in Berrien County. And I thank you. I thank you for your time. I thank you, and I wanted to come and talk with you. And if you have any questions later or whatever, and you choose to get in touch with me, please do. I'm in the phone book, plus I'm in the directory. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
County Commissioner Yarborough. We have our consent calendar items. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there support, or is that something that can be separated?
Can we separate one?
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I like to separate number 4.
You know that? Anything else? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Motion carried.
First separated item is resolution of honorary street renaming of Territorial from 4th Street to 6th Street to Richard Hunt Way. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
It's been moved by Commissioner Singleton, supported by Commissioner Isom. Can we have the city manager speak first, please?
Yes, I spoke this afternoon with the director at Crescent Arts, and they asked if we would table it until the next meeting. They want to go over it and make some possible changes in the application.
Is there a motion to table?
So move.
A motion by Commissioner Singleton, supported by Commissioner Isom. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
A little clarity. Is it going back to committee or coming back to this board?
It's basically going back to Crescent for them to review the application, and then it would be coming back to the commission.
Didn't they present
There's a motion on the floor.
and I'm getting some clarity, sir. And that is within my right. So my question is it coming back to committee or is it coming back to this body?
It's my understanding.
We'll bring it back to the proper channels it needs to go through.
What is that, Chair?
The legislative body.
Thank you.
You have a vote.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Brings us to the resolution number 4, resolution authorizing the interim city manager to enter into a lease agreement with ARP Global Holdings LLC for 83 West Main Street to 116 Water Street. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Been motion by Commissioner Isom, supported by Commissioner Singleton. Discussion. Commissioner Ethel Clark Griffin.
Okay, I got some concerns. Number one, why releasing when we have plenty of property to put this exercise equipment on? Personally, I think that, Hall Park would be a good place for it. Number two, I heard last meeting, I heard one commissioner expressing concern about how this property was acquired. Secondly, at the same meeting, last meeting, I heard another commissioner inquire about how other properties was attained by this person. Thirdly, now, Mr. Cook, he works for Harbor Shore. He's the owner of APR Global Holding LLC. He works for Harbor Shore, which we have a lease with them for, I believe, 101 years. I heard it was before my time, but to my knowledge, it's 101 years we have a lease with them. Okay, he's also on the Cornerstone Alliance Board, and he's also has been working for Amamage for 31 years in different capacity. The one now is President Emeritus. So I believe, in my opinion, leasing to him would be a conflict of interest, a violation to the charter, and if not, illegal. Thank you.
Mr. Sigmund?
I just, wanted to get clarification from the city manager, the chair, how this, we're leasing from, that property owner, right?
Yes, we're leasing from that property owner, and following discussion since the last meeting, that has been changed to for $1 a year.
Give a, like a certain amount of years, or just $1 a year?
So $1 a year through 2030,
2030.
and year to year after that, depending on availability and situation.
And that, equipment that will be going there if approved, is transferable, can be moved at any time.
Yes, it can be.
And it's also, open to anybody at no cost.
That's correct.
Good, thank you,
All
sir.
right. Thank you. Commissioner Kennard?
Well, I did hear something that did concern me, but I didn't get a clear understanding. It was about the insurance issue concerning that property. And I was told one thing, but I take it as a grain of salt when I don't see it in black and white. That it was, I forgot how many $100,000 to insure that area. So I have some concerns also for it to even be brought back. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Commissioner Henry?
Thank you. Well, this did get quite a bit of discussion over the years. But I heard something a few minutes ago where you said that you will be able to move it. It's gonna be on a concrete pad. It is not likely to be moved easily. So I'll just say that, then I'll go back to my original issue that when it was first presented to us, there was no out-of-pocket expense for the city. And now it seemed to have grown to quite a bit, even though Mr. Cook shamefully wanted to charge us $300 and now charging us $1. I think that's an admirable thing for him to be, but I need to know exactly how much pocket money it's gonna cost the citizens to have this put in on public land.
Let's go go
Friday
through all,
night, I'm sorry,
let's go
Friday
through the
night.
questions and then we'll come back to you, city manager. Is there anybody else who hasn't spoken their question? Commissioner Edward Lee Isom.
Anyway, looking at the financial impact, it's $30,000 left for the, from donations. You know, they're gonna cover the cost of the cement slab and the installation. So,
Are you answering the question?
yeah, I was just
Okay.
confirming, you know, come from the Personnel and Finance Committee that,
30,000 is going to take care of.
Commissioner Isom still has the floor, please.
can we confer to the city manager, we get an estimate on the cost of the pouring of the cement.
Let's get all the questions, then we'll go back to the city manager. Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Okay, as I stated, first of all, to piggyback on what Commissioner Kennard said, about the insurance, from what I've seen, the insurance was $2 million. So, also, yeah, the 30,000 will cover the moving and all that, but we have to pay all utilities and everything else that it entails. And my more concern, as I stated, prior a few minutes ago, was that why are we leasing? I don't care if it's 1 cent, especially since it's probably a conflict of interest, violation of the charter, and illegal, because as I stated, he's the Cornerstone Lions Board, he's the managing director for Harbor Shore, and he has affiliated with 31 years with Amimage. And we already pay Amimage. We do business with Amimage. So he's still the president on there. So goes back to, like I said, I don't care if it's a penny or not. It could be a conflict of interest, violation of the charter, and illegal. Thank you.
Thank you. City manager, could you answer the questions that have been put forth, please? Thank you.
The positions that the gentleman holds, that owns the companies making the lease, has nothing to do with the rest of this. There's nothing illegal, there's no conflict of interest about it. The $2 million we're talking about is the insurance that we would be carrying on our facility, which is consistent with what we carry on everything else, the parks and so forth that the city owns. It's nothing new or additional, it's just an extension to that. Once again, as I said before, the gentleman is doing this to try and assist and help the city. As to why the location, if you will recall, I know it's been quite some time now, and before Commissioner Clark Griffin's time on the commission, but there were discussions that went on for at least the last 3 years about location being downtown in the center of the city. Initially, it was in City Center Park, but then as other developments began to take hold that were going to be in the park, such as a monument and so forth, it was determined that that was too crowded, but we wanted to stay as close as we could in the downtown area. This does that for us at no great expense or whatever. It puts it where we agreed that we would put it.
City attorney, is there any anything illegal or conflict of interest or violation of the charter with this agreement? Did you look at it?
So I haven't looked directly at the charter, but I can tell you tonight, I don't believe this is a violation of the charter. If you look at the consideration, between now and 2030, when the lease ends, it's $7. So from now to lease the building, or to lease this vacant piece of land from now till 2030 is going to cost $7 for the city. So that nominal consideration would not be considered any sort of conflict of interest. What I can tell you is I was concerned about the insurance, and I believe Commissioner Kennard brought that up last week, so 2 weeks ago. So I did contact the insurance company, and they said the way to handle something like this is to send them a copy of the lease. They will include this piece of property on your insurance, and it will be covered to the extent that you've contracted for that coverage in the lease. So it will be covered under the city's public liability insurance. And if, let's just say the worst case scenario happens and the insurance company says they can't cover it, which that's not going to happen, but if that happened, the lease wouldn't move forward. There's provisions in there that if you can't get the insurance coverage for any reason, the lease is terminated. So that even that possibility is covered in here.
Question, so did they give you amount? It's not gonna be a significant amount more. It's just gonna be included with Hall Park, Union Park, all of the facilities that we have already.
Yes.
All of the buildings is just gonna be included in that.
Yes, and one of the things I wanted to clarify, and I had a good conversation with the insurance agent, and we talked about how the city does have the authority. You're a legislative body, you're a home rule city, and you have a lot of authority to lease property. So I was actually talking to him about another lease property, so I called on two different properties. You have the right to lease private property for public purposes, and that's what this is. So that is why this property would be covered under your general liability insurance policy, because this is something within the scope of your authority as a home rule city. It's your decision, it's your job to decide, is this a good idea? But you have the ability to do this and enter into this lease. I've reviewed it, and it is favorable to the city because again, you're paying a total of $7 between now and the end of the lease.
Thank you. Last question from me. So what you're stating is there's nothing illegal.
No,
$7 to lease it. Insurance will cover it, so it'll be fully insured.
yes.
And everything that you've seen, it looks like it's profitable for the city. Was in the best interest for the city.
Everything that I've seen lends me to believe that this is a purely legislative decision by the city commission and you have the authority to vote in favor of the lease.
Thank you. Commissioner Singleton.
Yeah, one last question. Also, the current taxes that's being paid now will continue. There's no tax abatements or forgiveness.
That is correct. The owner has agreed he'll continue to pay the taxes.
So he's paying taxes on the property also. And his property tax is probably more than $7. So, is he standing to get any kind of benefit or gain from this?
None whatsoever.
And none of his family or anybody is gonna be working on that property?
No, sir.
And how much will it cost for him to install this equipment on that property?
That I am not sure of. We had one contractor that had volunteered if we bought the concrete that he would install the concrete. And I'm assuming that's still the case, but what other costs are involved, I believe would fall within the amount of money we have available left over from the gifts to do.
So there's $30,000 still left from the donation, and we can purchase the concrete out of that, and somebody volunteering to do it pro bono or to do it for no charge to assemble all this equipment.
Actually, the company comes in and assists us with assembling the equipment. And I think there's some payment there involved, but that would come out of this also.
So there's no charge to the city, so you see in your scope, this project.
I don't expect there to be, and if there is, it would be minor.
And if it is an expense, you're gonna bring it back to the commission.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Henry.
Just to get some clarity on, through the chair and the attorney, after 2030, where will the city and the private owners stand if we want to continue this agreement? Where, there's a lot in that contract, so I'm asking through the chair for the attorney to give us her opinion or personnel.
So the lease does terminate in 2030, but my recommendation would be that in the next couple years, I think what this does is it gives you time as a city commission, if you approve this, to see if this works. Is this relationship working? Is this a good location? Then you can evaluate that, the property owner can evaluate that, and you can agree to extend if everything is going as planned. I think it gives you an out at the end if you don't want to stay in that location, if you want to relocate, and it also gives the property owner an out also, but it locks you in for a good number of years so that there's some continuity with this equipment being in the, in that particular area. So I do think you need to think about it in the next, say, 2 or 3 years. If it works out, you need to look at extending that further.
Thank you. Commissioner Kennard.
One of my concerns is that we have the inner city and they focus on things for placing things, activities and all, the downtown. When are we going to focus in on our inner city? We got parks there and we can have more activities even set for those areas. So I'm concerned so much that everything is focused on the downtown area and nothing is focused to enhance the inner city. So this is one of my concerns is that we have this home rule city. We're supposed to focus more so with our people here, but everything is set and centered for the downtown area. So this is just a comment I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Commissioner Edward Isel.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I just want to say that this is a good thing for the city. Health is very important right now, especially in the Black community. We need to work on health. We got Corewell Health down there. Just to bring people downtown, our people, the residents of Ben Harbor downtown to exercise. This is a picture of the equipment. I wish we could have blew it up and you could see it. But you get a chance to exercise, move your legs, your arms, cardio, what have you, to live a longer life. And we really need that in Ben Harbor. Statistics say that we live shorter lifespan in the community. So I think it's part of better health, priority health. I think it's a good combination.
Commissioner Kennard.
That proves my point. They're trying to reach the people in the inner city. Why shouldn't this be some things like this set for the inner city? You're trying to reach them. They don't live in the downtown area. They live more in the inner city, more the focus is supposed to be there. So we want a healthier community with our people, as you say. What's wrong with it being in parks or areas that is located within the inner city? Thank you.
That being all right. Question has been called by Commissioner Singleton. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Kennard,
What is this to vote for? Well, I'll say no.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
With clarity, I still believe this is a conflict of interest. No.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isel,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. That's every resolution that we have today, right? Okay, good. I have a report of staff officials. We'll start with City Attorney.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, I don't have a report tonight.
Thank you. We're thankful to have our Assistant Chief or Deputy Chief here.
Nothing this evening.
Thank you. Our Clerk.
I will make this easy and have no report this evening.
Wow. I think we're gonna might break a record tonight. We'll start with Commissioner Edward Isel.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you. It's been a good meeting. Oh, yeah, the city manager. Oh, you keep them?
Oh, hey,
Oh, okay.
What are you
Well, thank
mumbling
you.
about down
I'm
there?
just Sorry about that. He sits up here with us, so sometimes I forget that he's not a city councilman. Our city manager, Alex Little.
I'll just briefly mention a couple of things. Again, the point that I made at the last meeting, that Comcast has said to us that every child that participates in the school lunch, in the free school lunch program, their family is eligible to get internet through Comcast for $9 and something a month. I just want to continue to put that information out there because I think that could be valuable for this community. Probably very few households in the community that don't qualify for the school lunch program. Likewise, senior citizens on Medicaid also would qualify. So I want to put that word out there to encourage people to ask the question of Comcast as to, can they participate in the program? Because I know for many years here I've seen people have to bring their children downtown to sit outside the library in order to try to be able to contact with the library's internet while they're doing their schoolwork in cars. The one other thing I want to mention again from last meeting is that, as was pointed out at the last meeting, there is already on the books an ordinance regarding the miscellaneous items that have been being placed at the cemetery. As of September 30, anything that's left there that's not appropriate, we're going to have removed and discarded. So if people have things there that they are concerned about, we're going to ask that they go out and remove them. Thank you.
Thank you. I do apologize for the interruption. Commissioner Iceman.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you for your comments. You have been heard. Commissioner Yarborough for an update. Thank you so much. We have a lot of projects going on in the city as a whole. We have all the water mains, sewer lines getting replaced throughout the city. So the city is tore up almost, and we got upcoming projects like the fair and Martin Luther King project. So it's a lot of work happening in the city of Ben Harbor. The infrastructure is old, so the time is now to the funds are coming in, to better for the residents to have better streets, better sewers, better water, drivable roads. So we're doing a lot. Since I've been here since 15, I know we done a lot of streets, all the water mains, service lines. So it's a lot of work have been done for the residents of this city. And we will continue to do that to move the city forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank the citizens for coming out. Benton Harbor has been called a port of opportunity since the 70s. And I would like to keep that. But we need to make sure that we get the word out of the opportunities that are here for residents. And it's not working very well now because it's on the website, but everybody's not on the website. So Port of Opportunities and all the apprenticeship jobs, all the opportunities for resolutions that we put in place to for jobs. And we really need to find some way to let the people know about these opportunities. Mr. Little negotiated a job, one job, but that's a job, better than no job. And nobody knows about that. The paddleboard company needs to hire one of us. Nobody knows about that but him and whoever heard them in the meeting. So that's another reason why we need our citywide newsletter to go out. I'm going to schedule a town hall meeting about a port of opportunity. We're gonna try to establish more block clubs. We're gonna also establish a job bank where you can come in and show your skills, and we can align you with the jobs that are here, that are resolutions say that are for you. The state of Michigan is doing apprenticeships, and we need to be able to share and pull our people into it. And when I hear elected officials say that our people don't want to work, it just galls me. So until we can share information and be transparent with what is actually going on, I hear the county clerk, county representative talk about the money that's going to be coming in. Our staff have been crying broke for the last 10 years, but nobody saw that money coming in. We knew that money was coming in to help us, but we crying broke. 2025 is here. We waited all of these years for Harbor Shores to finally break down and give us some of the things that we need. And the citizens don't even know about it. So be careful when you don't get information. It sets up big red flags for me when the information is not given in a timely manner. And I am a true believer that gentrification is working in Benton Harbor right now. Thank you.
Commissioner Kennard.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you all for coming out tonight. And I want to say to Mr. Bullock, I knew your mom and your dad. In fact, I made their flowers for their wedding. But it was long before you came along. But I have sympathy for you. You're a young black man. You're not in trouble. You're trying to build your business. For you not to get the support that you need is not going to work here. We want to give you every opportunity to succeed. And I'm hoping every last one of us here will help you, support you in you getting that. Now, you came here and you mentioned the problem that you were having. I don't know whether the city manager has time to talk to you, but I want everyone to think about this. He's holding down two positions. That's the mayor pro tem. I'm not mayor pro tem, the city manager, interim, and then not only that, economic development. Those two places during the span of a day. That's too much on him. So he should be doing just one of those jobs, and I want to know if he's getting paid for both of those jobs. You've had the resumes for some time for a city manager. His name is in there. So I want to know what's the holdup for us to review them. Don't tell me everybody got to have a cutoff point. So what you have, I've turned mine in, the ones that I've seen that was valuable to review. So if you haven't gotten from everyone, I don't care. It's a time for it to stop. These people put in their resume because they wanted the job. So they shouldn't have to wait a year for getting that. So we expect great things. Let's make it happen. Don't just tell me that. I'm talking about you. That's your word. And so let's make it happen. Each and every last one of us. And don't give anybody they're paying a salary to dictate to us when we do it. We should get together and have those people interview for the job. And then with each one having a job to do, they'll have more time to give us an answer for the things we ask. That's no more than fair. So let's get busy and do our job. I ran on the theory that no more excuses, because excuses is a lot of words wrapped up in a lie. So no more excuses, taking care of city's business. And that's what we are here to do. You can say I'm an old woman, but I got sense, common sense, and I know what's right from wrong. So this is not wrong, right, to have these people waiting this long to be interviewed for that seat. It's up to for us to have an interview with them. So let's get busy and do our job. Thank you all for coming.
Commissioner Ethel Clark Griffin.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. On Saturday, we'll be having the Fourth Ward Alliance third annual resource fair and fall cleanup. It'll be at 809 Territory, which is Beautiful Gate Baptist Church, from 12 to 4 p.m. We're gonna have businesses with free resources available, raffles, snacks, refreshments, kids activities. I'm gonna give away at least about 32 backpacks with school supplies. I wish I could do the whole city, but it's just me and one Fourth Ward resident that does this every year, along with in-kind donations. We also gonna have other giveaways and much more. So come and see, come and enjoy. You can bring your lawn chairs, come hang out as every year I say, and we do. We have a great time. So come on out. We're gonna also have a cleanup. We have it going on at the same time. This time we will be cleaning up Pasadena, North McCoy, Edgecombe, LaSalle, downtown Larry's Liquor Store, and the old Roxy behind the Richard Hunt studio. So come on out and enjoy this Saturday, 809 Territorial in Benton Harbor, 12 to 4 p.m. We're gonna have a great time as we always do. Have a good night.
Thank you. Commissioner Warren.
Thank everyone for coming out tonight. Let's see, so first comment is I love Commissioner Henry's town hall meeting for the Port of Opportunity. I love to be a part of that, maybe the resume writing help. So keep me posted, I love that idea. I wanted to keep my word and talk about a conversation I had with Miss Emma Kennard. A couple weeks ago, some things were said, but she just clarified that she was not a part of any negativity, bullying, or threats against me. In fact, she didn't even know that was going on. So I appreciated that conversation with Ms. Kennard, and she ended by saying how she loves everyone. So I wanted to mention that. Next thing for Second Ward is we're going to tentatively schedule a cleanup for September 21st. So I'll provide more information on where we're going to meet, but if everyone can kind of keep that on their calendar. And then my final comment is a reminder that school starts on Monday. So everyone please be aware of school buses and youth because most of our local schools start on Monday. Thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you. Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Just like to thank everyone who came out tonight, everyone who spoke, Commissioner's page to look at those properties that will be auctioned off September the 3rd, and possibly own some properties. And I'd like to thank the city manager. There's been a property on Warwick Terrace that been getting a lot of complaints and calls about from residents. I've put in a lot of them, sent pictures and stuff. I sent an email, I think Commissioner Henry also sent it. That property was recently cleaned up and furniture removed and mattresses removed. It was directly in back of one of our local schools. You drive out, you see all of this stuff, and it was a property that the city actually owns. So thanking the city manager and staff for getting that cleaned up so our residents didn't have to see that. But I'd just like to say the city of Benton Harbor is really moving forward. There are some really great things happening in the city. Tonight, again, we've approved some really great things in our city and things that'll improve the quality of life for people who live in our community. And so it's not perfect, but it's still moving. And to residents who've had issues, Mr. Bullock, I had an opportunity to speak to you on Wednesday about the same issue and asked that you talk with the chief. I actually advised you to go to the meeting that was happening because it was public safety, and that would have been a great place to have the conversation about the issue that you were having. It was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. And so I would encourage any resident, if there is an issue, to talk to the city about those issues, because that's the way to get those issues solved. Coming here on Monday night, to make it public, but the best way to resolve an issue is to have a conversation. As Commissioner Warren just talked about, she had an opportunity to have a conversation with another one. So having a conversation to get those things settled is probably a better venue to do that, because a lot of times it's not the place to be able to answer like you want answered, but in those conversations it is. So I'd like to thank you all again for coming out, and those are my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I thank everybody for coming out. Also I did talk with Mr. Bullock, as chair of the Public Safety Committee, and he did express his concerns and some of the issues that he was dealing with. Did kind of concern me a little bit about the letter that he said was wrote, and I hope it wasn't on our behalf. But I did talk with the city manager and made him aware of Mr. Bullock's complaint. I remember going to a conference, matter of fact, Michigan Municipal League, and one of the seminars, talked about economic development and said that we have to be very careful, although our, code enforcement and building departments have a specific role, and they're doing a good job. But the lady expressed, and this happens in a lot of cities with economic growth, that we have to make sure it's not a heavy hand, and we have to make sure that communications is going on, so whoever's trying to do some economic development know what steps they have to take, and it should be clear, and if they meet those things, then it shouldn't be no issue. So we just have to be aware of those things too. So the concept that I heard that he's want to do at that location, I see no issue with it. I think it's much needed. A restaurant, we do have plenty, in the area that do have liquor license, serve liquor license. I think this commission said we didn't want to deal with no more gas stations and liquor stores, but a restaurant, I think is definitely a plus, especially with some of the things that we've been hearing lately with the particular restaurant. And so hopefully that can get worked out. And I trust that the manager will work through that. And as far as I'm glad we was able to finally get this exercise thing passed. I do believe people do need to get more health conscious. We did a great job. We heard the statistics some years ago when they came in about the death rates and all kind of illnesses and things. But to get that done, folks can use it. I do agree with Commissioner Henry that we do have to try to get some information, get the information out to the people what's going on. So whatever we have to do that. There are things happening in the inner city. I heard Mr. Isom talk about all the water and pipes and infrastructure, even the parks. Over the years, it's been, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent in inner city parks, rehabbing them and getting them, we had celebrations in June Woods, Union Park, recently Yarborough Park, and so just things going on, and I think we need to get the message out, what's going on, and then people can decide for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation in this meeting. Quick one. I would like to say that I think this commission is doing a good job on what we're doing. We have moved forward. The inner city streets have not looked better. Probably 30 years, people are coming in our communities and seeing the sidewalks and the streets and different things, and they're looking, this is better. Not being fixed up for somebody else, being fixed up for the people who live there. I do concur. There's a lot of things that are happening in this community, but it didn't come without us working hard to get it done. And I would say get the right information so you'll know the information and don't just take what you hear. Because sometimes what you hear might be just an opinion. I do agree with Commissioner Kennard. Some things you have to see in black and white in order to understand what it is and what is being done. That's why we do have legal counsel. We do have people to direct us and guide us, to show us what is right, and to keep us in the confines of the law. I would suggest that we do find a way to support resident-owned business. There was some mayhem that happened downtown a couple weeks ago, mistreatment of minorities, and people are suggesting that they don't want to attend the place anymore. That place has been cited numerous times and nothing has happened. They refuse to follow ordinance, refuse to follow citations, anything else. So I think we do need to find out a way to put some teeth in some of our ordinances, find out what's best for the residents and the citizens of Benton Harbor and the city residents. I do concur with my constituent that when we did say we did not want any more liquor licenses, it did not stop the crowd from bringing more and more liquor licenses. Sings have put liquor licenses on every block in the city of Benton Harbor. Matter of fact, across the street from one another, and they probably got about 5 in their back pocket now, trying to find another place to put one. You can go in these stores and find Choy Boy and crack pipes and every other kind of thing in the stores that you want to find in them. And some of these stores are even selling to minors. When you contact the state, that's what you need to do. Contact the state and then begin to complain and let your complaints be heard. But then we don't need to imprison our own because of what everybody else is doing. I think we do need to cut down. We did have an ordinance that I thought it suggested that it shouldn't be around churches, schools, or anything else. But it looks like they pop them up everywhere. And the one, I filed a police report against, I don't know what happened to it, but I caught him selling to a minor and filed a report. And he told me, get mine out of the store. And I got up out the store and called the police. You do have a right to spend your money wherever your money is respected. If your money is not respected, don't spend your money there. It's just plain and simple. The only power you have is in your dollar. If you don't spend money with some of these places, your place will be shut down. They need your money. And I'm not gonna sit here and say Black lives matter, but we all know all lives matter, but black dollars matter. And if you pick your dollar and you take your dollar in the right place, then you don't have to worry about nobody throwing money in your face. You have a great night, and I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Been motioned by Commissioner Singleton, and supported by Commissioner Henderson. I'm sorry, Commissioner Warren. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isa,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Yes,
Motion carried.
meeting is adjourned.